Organized stalking is a form of calculated cruelty. It is when a group of people works together to systematically dismantle a person's life. The harm is often quiet. It unfolds in the background of a normal day. It is not a single act of violence. It is a persistent, coordinated campaign. The goal is to destroy the victim's peace. It aims to tear apart their work. It aims to tear apart their family ties. It aims to tear apart their reputation. It aims to tear apart their very sense of reality. This essay will explain how this insidious form of abuse often happens. It will illuminate the common signs. It will also show how people can begin to build a path toward safety. It will show how people can find the help they need to reclaim their lives from the shadows. They may begin to think that no one will believe their story. Their experiences can sound unbelievable, even to themselves. This deep isolation is a key weapon of the abuser. It makes the harm more potent and more damaging. Understanding the common playbook used by these groups can empower victims. It can also equip their friends, families, and communities to recognize the danger and intervene early. We will look at 4 distinct phases of this torment. We will use simple, clear language. We will deliberately avoid providing a manual of harmful methods. We will focus on the warning signs and the path to safety. The silence surrounding this topic is part of its power. When we fail to name a problem, we leave its victims to suffer in isolation. Organized harassment preys on this silence. It thrives in the spaces where society is unwilling to look. The abuser counts on the victim feeling ashamed. They count on the victim being too confused or frightened to speak out. By bringing this issue into the light, we challenge the narrative of the abuser. We affirm the experiences of the survivors. We create a new story. The first phase of organized stalking is one of quiet reconnaissance. It begins long before the target is aware of any threat. In this preparation stage, the perpetrators gather information. They watch. They listen. They build a detailed map of the victim's life. They may read public posts on social media or scan online profiles for details, relationships, habits, vulnerabilities. They might listen to conversations in public places, picking up details shared with friends, picking up details shared with colleagues. They work to learn the person's daily routines, the time they leave for work, the route they take, the coffee shop they frequent, the people they trust the most. This information becomes the blueprint for the psychological assault that will follow. The warning signs in this early phase are subtle, often dismissed as coincidence or paranoia. You might find that people you barely know seem to be aware of private details about your life. A neighbor might casually mention a recent private conversation you had, an event you never told them about. You might get a fleeting but distinct feeling of being watched or followed. The second phase marks the true beginning of the harassment. Quiet surveillance gives way to active, intentional efforts to destabilize you. The goal: make you doubt your own perceptions and feel profoundly alone. This is often achieved through gaslighting, manipulating situations to make you question your sanity. They spread rumors among friends, family, coworkers to erode trust and create distance. They suggest your closest allies have turned against you, sharing fabricated betrayals to create total isolation. The world you knew begins to feel hostile and unpredictable. Warning signs become more direct, yet deniable. You might get private messages, emails at odd hours with vaguely threatening or confusing content. People you know may act distant, cold, or strange, influenced by rumors you haven't heard. You might come home to find small personal items missing or moved: a book, a photograph, a piece of clothing. They aren't valuable, so it doesn't feel like a burglary. It feels like a violation of your space. You may get strangely timed phone calls in the middle of the night, or at moments when you're most vulnerable. It's a constant, low-level hum of anxiety. If the initial harassment does not succeed in breaking the target, the campaign often escalates into a third, more aggressive phase. The goal now is to shatter the victim's sense of self and plunge their life into chaos. The subtle tactics of the previous stage are amplified, becoming more overt and more damaging. The abuser seeks to break the victim's will to resist. This can involve relentless noise campaigns, such as loud music, banging, shouting at all hours, specifically designed to prevent the victim from sleeping. It can include repeated public insults, humiliation actions that make it impossible to concentrate, actions that prevent performing your job effectively. The abusers work to make their target appear unstable in front of friends, family, employers, authorities. Sleep becomes a luxury, made difficult or impossible due to constant noise, stress, and a pervasive sense of fear. You might feel profoundly confused or unsure about simple facts, a direct result of sleep deprivation and sustained psychological pressure. This is a state known as thought fog, where clarity slips away. People in your life may report strange or erratic behavior you don't remember. A sign lies and impersonations are being used to discredit you. You may receive direct threats about releasing private or embarrassing information, a form of blackmail to control your actions. At this stage, the harassment often expands to include financial and professional sabotage. You might notice that money is missing from bank accounts. Bills may go unpaid because mail is intercepted or manipulated. At work, crucial files may disappear from your computer, or false complaints may be filed against you with human resources. The goal is to create a perfect storm of crises. The victim fights battles on multiple fronts: at home, at work, financially, socially. This overwhelming pressure aims to cause a complete breakdown, making it easier for abusers to destroy the person's life. This phase is the most overt and brutal. The abuser is no longer hiding. They actively and aggressively try to provoke a reaction. They want the victim to lash out in public. That reaction is used as proof of instability, justifying ostracism or legal medical intervention. It is a cruel, calculated trap. The victim is pushed to their absolute limit, their natural response to extreme stress weaponized against them. This is when the victim is most vulnerable and desperately needs outside help and validation. The final stage is not an action taken by the abuser, but the devastating result of their campaign. This is the phase of impact and harm, where the cumulative effects of the stalking manifest in profound and life-altering ways. The victim may lose their job, sabotaged performance, damaged reputation, evicted from their home, manufactured complaints, financial ruin, friends and family manipulated by the abuser's lies. Friends and family pull away. Utter isolation. Legal challenges. Forced medical decisions that strip autonomy, painted as mentally incompetent or a danger to themselves. The common effects of this sustained abuse are deep and long-lasting. Severe anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, panic attacks. The world no longer feels like a safe place. Insomnia, chronic fatigue, profound loss of trust in others, loss of trust in friends and family, permanent emotional guard, debt, bankruptcy, homelessness, trouble getting fair help from officials or services. Their story may be dismissed as delusional. Victims of organized harassment often describe the experience as a slow, grinding erosion of the self. The abuse is rarely one single dramatic event that can be easily pointed to and proven. Instead, it is an accumulation of 1,000 tiny cuts, a relentless series of small, ambiguous attacks over a long period. An abuser might repeatedly park their car too close to yours. An abuser might make a strange gesture every time they see you. An abuser might ensure you overhear snippets of conversations designed to unsettle you. This steady, relentless pressure makes ordinary life an exhausting ordeal. The world becomes a landscape of potential threats. Simple activities, going to the grocery store. Simple activities, checking the mail. A deep sense of shame is a common and powerful emotion for those being targeted. Victims often feel embarrassed by what is happening to them. They may worry they have done something to deserve it. They may worry that telling someone will make them sound crazy. This shame causes many to hide the problem, to retreat inward rather than reach out for help. This withdrawal is precisely the outcome the abuser desires. The victim's silence and isolation become the abuser's greatest allies, allowing the harassment to continue and escalate without interference. The feeling of being completely alone in the struggle is one of the most painful aspects of the entire ordeal. The psychological toll is immense. Victims live in a state of hypervigilance, their nervous systems constantly on high alert. Every unexpected noise, every unfamiliar face, every strange coincidence is processed as a potential threat. This chronic state of fight or flight is mentally and physically draining. It impairs concentration. It impairs memory. It impairs decision-making. The person feels as though they are living in a fog, unable to think clearly or function normally. They are fighting a war that no one else can see. The constant need to be on guard, to analyze every interaction, to document every incident, a full-time job that leaves no energy for anything else. Ultimately, the experience is one of profound invalidation. When a victim does summon the courage to speak out, they are often met with disbelief or minimization. It is essential to act in ways that prioritize your safety. Prioritize your safety. Do not escalate the danger. Confronting suspected abusers directly can be risky. Handling the situation alone can be risky and counterproductive. Instead, focus on calm, methodical, safe steps. These actions are legal and empowering. They create a foundation for getting effective help. The first and most critical step is to keep detailed records. Purchase a notebook. Write down the date, time, location, specific details of every strange event, no matter how small. Save harassing messages. Take photos of any property damage. Keep a log of suspicious vehicles or individuals. This documentation is evidence for others. Seek professional help on multiple fronts. Talk to your primary care doctor. Talk to a mental health professional. Stress, anxiety, sleep problems you're experiencing. They can provide medical support to keep you physically and mentally strong. They can officially document health impacts as evidence. When you feel ready, contact local law enforcement. Go to the station in person during a quiet time. Bring your log of events and calmly present the facts. Ask to file a formal report. Even if they cannot act immediately, create an official paper trail. Finally, empower yourself with knowledge and support. Reach out to national victim support groups. Example: Stalking Prevention, Awareness, and Resource Center. These organizations offer expert advice, safety planning tips, connections to local resources. Seek a consultation with a lawyer experienced in harassment or restraining orders. They can explain your legal rights and help with protection orders. Concurrently, secure all your important accounts. Change passwords on a safe device. Enable two-factor authentication. Monitor your financial statements closely. The experience of organized harassment can feel like an endless nightmare, a maze with no exit. It is designed to make you feel powerless, to convince you that resistance is futile. But taking action, no matter how small, is how you begin to reclaim your power. Every entry in your log, every conversation with a trusted friend, every piece of advice sought from a professional. These small, consistent steps accumulate over time. They build a case. They build a support system. They build a path out of the darkness. The abusers thrive on your silence and despair. Your methodical action is the one thing they cannot control. There are people and organizations who are ready and willing to help you. You are not as alone as you have been made to feel. Support groups, online support groups, in person. Hearing their stories, sharing your own. Therapists specializing in trauma can provide coping strategies to manage the immense stress and fear. Legal aid services can offer guidance even if you cannot afford a private attorney. The journey begins with a single step: reaching out. You must be the one to initiate the call. Send the email, schedule the appointment. For friends and family, your role is simple but vital. Believe them. Listen without judgment. Offer your unwavering support. Help them document events. Offer them a safe place to stay. Go with them to appointments or to the police station. Do not try to be a hero and confront the suspected abusers yourself. that can put both you and the victim in greater danger. Your job is to be a stable, supportive presence, a rock in the storm. Your belief is the first light that can penetrate the fog of gaslighting and isolation. It is a lifeline that can give the victim the strength to keep fighting for their safety and their sanity. Recovery is possible. The road may be long and the scars may remain, but you can rebuild a life of peace, safety, and joy. It begins with the radical assertion that you have the right to exist without fear. Hold on to that belief. Nurture it. Protect your physical safety, seek care for your emotional well-being, and methodically pursue every available avenue for help. You are resilient. You have survived a campaign designed to break you. That strength, which has carried you this far, is the same strength that will carry you toward healing. Do not give up. There is hope. There is help. And there is a future waiting for you that is free from this shadow. Really, hold on to that. It is an affirmation that every person has a fundamental right to safety, peace, and a life free from calculated persecution. The battle is difficult, but it is not impossible to win. Acknowledging the reality of organized stalking is the first step toward creating a world where such tactics can no longer succeed. Recognizing the severity is crucial for law enforcement, mental health professionals, and society as a whole.